Hello, everyone. Welcome to one of my favorite days of the month when Juno and I get together to read your questions. Hey, Juno, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Joan. It's great to see you, and I'm so glad that we're back on track with getting together every month. It's such a
Yeah,
joy to be with you.
same here. You were talking to me about this new crystal that you have between your fingers here. Tell us about it.
Oh, well, I'm in a couple different practice groups, but in one of them we have a group text group, and one lady in the group said, I have some crystals that need a new home, time to move on
Hmm.
and put them up for a bid, or not bid, but who would like them? And I traded a mandala and a small mandala. And this is really cool. It's got all these different, and they're actual crystals. And I believe that they're set in sterling. And then there's little crystal cabochons around. And then there's also, if you can see that at the top, that's a Merkaba made out of tiger's eye. So it's a pretty powerful um, piece, and I didn't have a Merkaba until now. So, and a Merkaba is a component of the Metatron's cube. And Diana, oil painter, told me that my birth chart astrologically forms a Metatron's cube. So it's extra special for me to have this here. So that's
Cool.
my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah. Let's see. I just wanted to say hello to Jenny Felber and Book Bewitched, Paula. Oh, Book Bewitched says her question disappeared. All I saw was you said several students down, and I'm not quite sure what that means. So I don't see another question, so I'm afraid you'll have to type it in again. Um, Sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened. And there's Paula and Janice Kath, Rossi. Janice, I have your question. There's Carolyn Adams. Oh, liked and subscribed. Thank you very much, Janice. Yeah, I was telling Juno I've had a great day today. I had morning coffee with my best friend, who I don't get to see very often anymore, and then took a walk in the sunshine. It was all of 40 degrees here, which seems like a heat
No.
wave, but it was sunny and lovely. And then I got to see my son, and I don't get to see him very often. So it was just a quick lunch, but um, yeah, and now I get to do this with all of you guys. So thank you so much. And if you have some questions, put them in all caps in the chat, and we'll see if we can get to them. And thank you for being forgiving with me about sometimes I'm kind of a little rough on being hostess here and catching everything. And Juno can't is it's you can't read the chat from where you are, so
Right,
you're
right.
going to have to
I'm working on it.
rely on my eyes. And I don't know what I'm going to blame it on after I have cataract surgery in
Yeah.
January.
When
So
do you have that? Is that coming up soon?
that'll be on two different dates in January. So
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it. And I've one of the things I'm a little afraid of isn't like anything medical. I'm afraid I'm going to come home and look at the house and go, "Oh my
Yeah.
God, it's so dirty," and I never even saw it. Everything needs to be cleaned and repainted and all of that. There's probably cobwebs that I can't see, and not huge things to worry about. But anyhow, yeah, here's Jenny's question. I would like to request a reading for any messages Spirit might have for me. Wonderful. So let's see what we can find out for Jenny. Yes, it's Velver. Hmm. And it might take a little while on this first one to come in. I'm seeing something coming in, but I'm not quite sure what this means. Jenny, I'm not sure if I've read for you before, but I just tend to get symbolic images that oftentimes don't mean anything to me, but may to you. And what I'm seeing is it's you, or who I think is you, but you're dressed up like a geisha girl, doing a very formal kind of dance. And then there's this other person, and the part of the dance is you both have your arms out like this, and kind of like you're sort of far
Sorry.
apart. Your hands are touching, but you're going like this, and then you turn away and you can continue on with this sort of traditional ritual type of pattern of dance, turning away from this person. And okay, show me next what happens. And then a dove comes down and sits on your hand, like your hand is way up there, and a dove comes down and sits on it. So what happens next here for Jenny? And you're looking at this bird, and you're saying, is it a dove? Is this peace? And then it turns into a white, because it's a white dove, and then it turns into like, or is it like a white chicken with a red comb on it? So Spirit, what does all this fowl mean here? Okay, it says that you're going to be making a decision, and at first you feel good with it, but then you start doubting yourself. Is this going to bring me peace? And I think the chicken means, am I going to be strong enough to go through with it? Am I going to, the chicken is going to be like, do I have the courage? Will I be chicken? So that's kind of, Spirit, is there anything else? Now I'm seeing sort of like a rope curling around, and it's about providing support. It's just curling around a pole. And this rope is giving me the impression that something's going to be coming to you to offer support. It's not touching the pole, but it's curled around it. It reminds me of that medical symbol that they have for doctors, and it's like sort of like a cross, and it has a snake that's curling around it. It's sort of like that. But let me pull a card for you. And I get the Archangel Zadkiel, who says, strengthen your boundaries. And that might have something to do with the way you were dancing at first. And from my feathers deck, I get the Wren. Be bold and confident. Use all of your resources to create your dreams. And maybe your dreams are the peace rather than the peaceful dove, the dove of peace rather than the chicken of being chicken. How about you, Juno? What do you get for Jenny?
Beautiful messages for Jenny, and a shout out to Jenny. She's near and dear to my heart. So thank you for being here, Jenny, and thank you, Joan, for reading for her. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. The first card I pulled, Jenny, for you from the Akashic Tarot is the Two of Roses, and it says Winged Messenger. And the only reason, normally I wouldn't really read from the book. I'm trying to give it up, but this just is so spot on, and I couldn't say it better. So it says this card indicates a small conflict in your home or family, and it could involve you or another or others as your extended family. There could be money issues about the home and inheritance or personal finance. So this is asking you to know that the dove of peace is there, and that Spirit is looking over the situation and is going to help you through this. It says that you might feel compelled to be the peacemaker, but they want you to put yourself first and, spend some energy on yourself for a while, because I think this will be very healing for you. And the other card I got from the Influence of the Angels deck is the World card. And this is the Angel Perpetiel, Perpetiel. And this is you can see it's the World card. Oops, sorry. Backwards and upside down. I'm learning, folks. That she's the angel of success and helps us follow our hopes and dreams to accomplish our goals. And, she's a reminder, this is the last card in the major arcana. As you reach the end, then you may now begin. And I see this for you, Jenny, as an opportunity to approach the situations you're dealing with maybe family members and those around you in a different way, which is going to set you free, because it's time you're ending that cycle, and it's time to start a new one where you're more in the driver's seat and less the passenger of all the drama of the drama bus. So that's the message I have for you today, Jenny, and big hugs.
Beautiful. We send you our love and light for whatever you are going through, and wish you very well. As well as someone has told us that the people down was referring to a shooting at University of Las Vegas, is it? I'm needing to find this again. And several people were shot. So let's just take a moment
Yeah.
and send healing light to everybody who was involved in that incident today. Everyone who was touched by this act of violence. Send them love, send them healing, send them angels to protect them and guide them through this difficult time. And let's take that love and send it out in rings that cover not only the state, but the entire country and the entire world, of sending love and strength and peace to everyone who is involved in any type of violence, including wars and gun violence and domestic violence and anything like that. Thank you for sending us help and hearing these reminders that we as a people need to find a better way. And so it is. Thank you very much. Oh. And for the day when we don't have to do things like that.
Yeah.
That we can, anyhow. I guess that's part of being human, but it doesn't have to be like this to be human. Okay. That was Jenny. And now our next person is Janice Kath. What are Oscar's current thoughts about me? Well, I can tell you what I can tell you. Because we can't read Oscar's thoughts because he's not here asking about it. We can only kind of read your energy. So let's see if we can say something about Janice and what is the energy, Spirit, between Janice and Oscar? What can you tell us that would be in Janice's highest interest, in the highest interest of all concerned? How does that work? I'm seeing a lot of dancers today. And this has started happening for me, a lot of dancing stuff. And now I'm seeing you two. Ooh, and I'm seeing you two as doing, I don't know, maybe it's like 40s style dancing, kind of more formal. But it's sort of like formal dancing. You're not just clinging onto each other, but you've got the moves and you're, first it's kind of far away. So you're kind of going through this dance, kind of like, I don't know if you're playing with each other and not being fully honest with each other about the way you feel, but that's the way it looks like, because first you're flung out and then you're flung, you come back, and now he's got his hand around you this way, but it's all sort of formal and fun, but it's still kind of patterned and a little bit at a distance. As they used to say when my kid went to Catholic school and they had dances, leave room for Jesus in between. And then at the end, there you were kind of slow dancing together. So I think that you might be going through this, it's still fun, it's still dancing, it's still lovely, but it's not like the passionate embrace and just kind of clinging to each other until the very end. And I got for you the Archangel Jophiel, who says it's time to create. So depending what kind of steps you want to be doing with this, Oscar, it's time to create that and manifest it. And then the Nuthatch says, stay grounded and welcome the new knowledge and perspective that's coming to you. So maybe some of that formal dancing is just to kind of give you an idea and time to, to cut in and study the steps and see what this dance is all about. Oh, and Janice says, oh yeah, I understand what you're saying. Okay, good. I'm very, very glad to hear that. What do you get, Juno?
Well, I pulled one card for, was her name Janice? I'm sorry.
Yes.
I got involved in my tuning in, and I pulled the Four of Keys from the Akashic Tarot, clearing the way. And you see there's a couple here, and there's a great big giant tree. I mean, this would, even in our day and age with all the tools we have, it would be a formidable tree to move out of the way. But at the end of that, there's light at the end of the tunnel, and it looks like there's a, let me look real close here. Yeah, there's a home there. So it feels to me like there's some obstacles to be cleared out of the way. And I think that these maybe are on his part, because she's not going to be able to be too helpful moving that big log. It's definitely more of a manly type task, but it's also saying to not push too hard. If this is going to work out, it will work out in time. And the more relaxed and trusting in the fact that, yes, the obstacle will be removed when the right time is here and the right people are, the things are aligned in order to remove that obstacle, that you're better off that way than trying to push it. Because it's easy to get excited, and, we want, like it says, it's the 4 of keys. We want the keys to that house at the end. We want to know it's all going to be just perfect. But sometimes, kind of like the butterfly coming out of the cocoon, if you open that cocoon too soon, it won't be able to fly. So I would say be patient, but there is definitely a pathway there, and there's light at the end of that pathway. So I think it's got possibilities.
Beautiful. I haven't said hello to lots of these people. Viviani, thank you so much for moderating and for being here. Carolyn Adams and Lori Hunsiger and Taro Your Way, Bernie Girl, Rossi, Sue Toffee, Melinda Cracker, and who just came? Pooja Gupta, Jenny, and Paula, Leah Piat, and the Crown Zone ladies. Thank you for being here. We're really glad to have you. I've got 9 more questions to go, so I don't think we can take any other ones. If we have more time, we'll open them up again, but just so you know. Next up is our friend Rossi. I always love looking at that little kitty cat.
What an expressive face.
Yeah. Let's see what we can get for Rossi for a general reading here today. And feel free to jump in if you'd like to go first.
I'll let you go first.
Okay.
It stays in the flow. I get confused if I switch it up.
Well, first I saw you coming in like with big white wings, and then I looked again, and it was like this snow-capped mountain with the sun coming up behind it. Okay, Spirit, let's walk through this. What does this mean? It's this feeling of empowerment and newness, and the white wings were like, vroom. It was like seeing a big eagle or something come in. Just a lot of energy and a lot of power coming in, entering, and the big sunburst behind the snow-capped mountains was also about energy and power. So what does this mean specifically for Rossi? I just heard she is coming into her own in many areas of her life. Let's see if these cards will give us any more. Oh, well, here's somebody with white wings. This is the Archangel Cassiel, who's saying face fear and rise. And I love that she has the symbol of balance, the yin yang symbol on her abdomen there. And the feathers cards, you got the crane. You will soon enter into a beneficial partnership. Luck and longevity will bless this union. So that might be friendship, business related, romantic, whomever, but whatever it is, there's good energy and powerful energy coming your way. So kind of let that be like a gift under the tree that you have yet to unwrap. It's going to be something fabulous and special, but have that kind of bubbly, expectant feeling about it, and then come back and report and tell us what it was. How about you, Juno? What did you get?
Very nice reading for Rossi. For Rossi, for you, I pulled the 7 of Forces from the Akashic Tarot, and it's the balance card. Of course, I think we all know, especially this time of year, how important it is to stay balanced. But this also has kind of a almost looks like an attorney's office with all the books in the background and all the woodwork. And it also talks about if there's something in your life that maybe you need to look at from a different perspective than your own, to visualize putting yourself in those judges' robes and stand back and look at your situation. It also talks, this obviously has a legal thing. Maybe there's something legal going on, and I would say that this is a positive outcome for you. So I'm going to have to put it on my thing on mute. The dogs are going to bark because there's a big dog barking outside. I apologize.
Okay.
Oh, wait, now they stop. Sorry. I was just trying to anticipate, not wanting to disrupt everybody. But yeah, we're coming up to the end of the year here too. And I think the wheels kind of come off for everybody this time of year. We get a little bit looser with our schedules and maybe with our intake of goodies and beverages and things like that. And so, kind of look forward, then allow yourself to have a good time and know that in January, you're going to be more focused on balancing things out and setting up your mental vision for what you want to do coming in the new year, how you want to go forward. And it also could be, everything looks so organized in this picture. Maybe it's a little nudge to, even if all you do is organize a drawer or a closet, even, if you can't organize your whole house, pick one little thing and organize that, the bathroom cabinet or something like that. All your tarot cards, whatever it is. But I think that just that idea of getting organized will help you get in that alignment with being balanced. So I hope that's helpful, Rossi.
That's beautiful. And she said she feels like she's getting a lot of downloads.
Mm-hmm.
Great cards. I feel something's coming. And she always says, I always get balance, yin yang, and justice cards. She's a Libra.
Wow.
Well, that makes complete
That's amazing.
sense.
That's pretty cool.
That's wonderful. Yeah, and I think the angel card had the balance thing too, so that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next is book Bewitched. Can we send light and protection? Yes, we sort of did that. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. And Sue Toffee, my niece Lauren in Dublin is 14 years old, is being bullied badly. Oh, poor dear. Will she be okay? Can she come live with her mom, my sister, here in Sydney? I'm going to be going to Dublin in 2024. I just found out that her sister is divorcing. Or is divorced. Let's see. Let's get this. So it's Lauren, the niece, is being bullied. So will she be okay? And can she come live with her mother in Sydney? Okay. We'll get as much info as we can here, Sue.
I can read on the energy of the
yeah, this is.
We can't really do predictive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
I'm seeing her with sort of like, remember in like the old scientific labs, there'd be like the bell jar that goes over something or other. And there's this glass bell jar that's all around her, kind of protecting her from not only the bullying, but everything else that's going on in her life. And just being 14 is bad enough as it is without all these other issues going on. And those old bell jars, the glass was really thick. So I think this is Spirit's way of saying, we've got this, we've got her kind of in our arms and encased in this thick jar. And then they have the wooden little circle thing on the bottom. So she's going to be okay. Yeah, all this, I heard slings and arrows. The slings and arrows might be coming for her, but it's not going to feel like they're bouncing off to her, because she can still see through the jar, and it's pretty scary and unpleasant to see that kind of energy coming toward you. But she's going to be okay. And now I'm seeing like these swirls outside of it that's just trying to dissipate the negative energy and all of that. Okay, Spirit, now let's move on. Will she be able to come to Sydney, to come live with her mother in Sydney? Will Lauren be able to come and live with her mother in Sydney? I'm seeing her riding like a flying elephant. I don't know why. Maybe it's Dumbo, the flying elephant. I don't know why I'm seeing a flying elephant, but I'm going to take that as a yes. This is a possibility. Okay, they're making, it's kind of like the saying that, I don't know if you have it in Australia, but in the States we'll say, yeah, that could happen when pigs fly. And this isn't a pig flying, but this is an elephant flying, and it's still sort of like, is this going to really happen? But it's, and then they, at first it was an elephant, then it turned into this cartoon character, Dumbo, who flew, and against all odds, nobody would believe it. And yeah, you flew in this story. So don't give up hope. I think this means there's a possibility. Other people might scoff at that. There might be, I don't know, all kinds of different roadblocks to it, but keep the vision in mind that the best possible outcome for her and for her family will happen. And don't give up even if you can't see a way, just ask Spirit to make a way where there seems to be no way. And let's see what the cards say. You got Archangel Metatron. It's a pretty powerful card to get, who says, remember who you are. And who you are is, who we all are, is part of divine source energy. So don't discount the influence that your prayers and your thoughts and your energy can have on this situation. And then I also got the peacock feather. Inherent wisdom is emerging at this time. Watch it and ready yourself for a rebirth. And I stumbled over the word inherent because I was reading it inherited. So I think this has some wisdom for the family involved in it as well. And the eye feather, the eye on the peacock feather is sort of a wisdom symbol too. Trust your, I'm going to repeat one of my mom's favorite prayers. I trust in God and his love and care for me. I trust in God and his love and care for Lauren. And you can use source or whatever. And then just kind of like, when you start worrying about her, say something like that and let it go and send love and let that go too. It's the best thing you can do for her right now. Oh, Juno, what do you get?
That was
we
amazing.
Wish you the very best.
Yeah, that was really touching. Thank you. It's no fun being bullied. And the card I pulled, interesting there, I sense a theme here today, the Justice card. So I feel like, there's that big sword, like Archangel Michael's sword there, even though this is not Archangel Michael. This is Angel Raguel, Raguel. But still, you've got that sword for protection. And this is the angel of justice, fairness, and harmony. And the name Raguel means friend of God. So I would say that, I would encourage her to, whether you can get her some kind of a card or a symbolism or a pendant or something with Archangel Michael on it. And, infuse in her knowledge that she is protected and that she can call on these angels. They will be there for her. And it talks about making a fair decision after weighing all the sides. And I think that's what you're doing right now. You're trying to decide what's the best move for her. Sometimes when you're in a situation like that, just getting out and getting as far away as possible seems like a good idea immediately, but maybe, how would it be in the long term? And I'm not deciding either way. I'm just saying there's a lot for everyone to really think about. And then it's interesting because the last line in here says, beware of your own bias. And I think that relates to how you view your sister's divorce. And as Joan was saying, be mindful of your role. Not that you're part of her divorce, but how you handle the dynamic as they go forward. So, but I think that I would say that, her family and you and Lauren especially are all protected with the justice card, and tell her to be strong. And bullies are just scaredy cats inside. So let her know she's got a lot of internal fortitude, and she's going to have all this wonderful community praying for her and sending her good energy for protection and for the best possible outcome for what she and the family decide to do.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sue.
Oh, I hope everything works out. And she says, we are the creators of our reality. Elephants are beloved in my family. Oh, good. I have the family wooden elephant all over my house. Thank you, Juno. Oh, good. That shows me, if you see something, say something.
Yeah.
Because it seems I get these things that sound so stupid sometimes, but you have to trust and go with it. Thank you. Yeah. And I wanted to welcome Starfish Jenny, who is here, and Jay Marcus, who says, I feel the peacock and inherited symbol symbolizes this experience will become empowering and shall come through this experience strong and sticking up for others in the future. That's beautiful. Thank you for throwing in on that one. Yeah. And Anne Swanchick is here. All right. And Bernie girl, I may have lost your question earlier on, but now let's read this now to make sure we get it. And we'll do a general reading for Bernie girl. And I'm always there's the stone I want to hold. Taking a while to come in here.
Might be the solar flares.
Well, that's just it. What I'm seeing, it's just so bright. Bright white light. And I'm having to put my head down to have it take shape here. What's going on in this bright white light for Bernie girl? It is kind of like looking up, like you're in a clearing in the forest, and there you can kind of see the dark sky. There's the dark, outline of the trees, and you're kind of in a clearing, looking up. It goes, and it's sort of, trees are the darkest, and then the sky, and then it's not like northern lights or anything else. It's this intense white light. Spirit, tell me about what's going on here for Bernie girl. What's this white light about? And it's just saying the light of Spirit is within you. Okay. And now I'm seeing the candle flame. They're trying to tell me in other ways because that can be a little dense here. Okay. And now they're putting the candle with this flame that is completely straight, it's just flickering like this. It's not blowing in the wind. And it's in this outdoor setting. The bright light above and the candle here. And it's like the candle is inside your heart. And it's unwavering. The candle flame is unwavering as your trust in the light will be. So Spirit, what's the message here? Tend the flame. That was nice. Let's see if the cards have anything to add to that. Wow. The Archangel of Hope saying, expect the best. And these are my lighting, it makes it really hard to see cards, but it's a very, very brightly lit scene with a lot of white light there. Expect the best. And, this is kind of a weird pairing. Expect the best and accept the inevitable. Let go of the past and welcome a rebirth. and this is the vulture, and I didn't say that at first because it scares a lot of people, but this is all about accepting, okay, I'm expecting the best and I'm accepting whatever comes my way, because whatever comes my way is for the best for me in this moment. And we're going to let go of the past and welcome up the rebirth to begin. So I hope that makes some sense. What did you get?
Well, and vulture also means nothing is wasted. You know,
Right.
he's like the main recycler. So it might be, like I said, we come to the end of the year, we kind of think about, well, what can we do? What can we get rid of? What can we recycle? You know, and even recycling things in our own life.
Mm-hmm.
For Bernie Girl, I pulled from the influence of the angels, the Three of Pentacles. And here we see there's an older man and a young man. They're shoeing horses, and there's an angel up above. They're shoeing a horse, I should say. And this is about working together. And this also shows me the different generations, like knowledge being handed down. And it's about the value of teamwork. You know, you wouldn't feel the same about this card if the two people were reversed. If the boy, you know, the younger man was holding the horse's leg up and the older man was on his knees, you would think, well, why, you know, just like, why don't you get up and give the lady a seat on the bus or at the subway, you know? You know, it's about knowing that their strengths and weaknesses about the different members of the team, and that there may be skill required to do a task. So maybe there's something that is weighing over you and you're not sure how to complete that task. And this to me says you might want to consult with someone who's more, you know, maybe who would apprentice you in it, or, you know, take you under their wing and teach you, so that then you can go on and do this task to the best of your ability. And it says, let's hear it for the 3 C's: capability, competence, and collaboration. So, and also with the angel up there at the top, don't forget, whatever you're doing, no matter what it is, don't forget to call spirit in and ask for their help and guidance. And remember to thank them also for being there for you. So good luck with whatever's coming up, Bernie Girl.
And she says, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you. And thank you to Fatima, who's here and who's sending blessings to everyone. And she says, yes, I'm good at sending blessings to everyone. That is a huge act of service, and it's greatly appreciated
Fatima's awesome.
Everyone. That's beautiful. All right. Oh, I wish I was a little smoother at this. Okay. Here's Pujagupta. I'm struggling with finding my skills and talents and where I should head toward next in my career. Okay. Career for Pujagupta. I am seeing someone playing the violin. And it looks like she's this girl in the olden times and has an old dress on and kind of a shawl covering her head. But we all know how long it takes to learn to play the violin well. And okay, so we're playing the violin, which to me is a symbol of high vibration, and that it takes a long time to develop this skill. It's not, yeah, you can play Twinkle Twinkle on it when you first start, but to really master this, it takes a long time. And that, okay, when I said mastery, it was like ding, ding, ding went off in my head. It's about mastery. It's about this person I'm seeing playing the violin. She's on a street corner and the case is open. She's playing for change. But in the process of it, she is putting in the time to really become a master. And now I'm seeing she's kind of like on this moving walkway like they have at the airport, and she's going into the concert hall. And now she's in a long black dress and is going to be the soloist. Oh, and they even showed me the diamond rings on her fingers as she's playing. They're kind of sparkling in the light. Oh, I get taken away by these sometimes. So it's like, it can feel like why am I sitting here? Or why am I standing here on the street corner playing for quarters? And this is hard. And but it's something about, if you may be feeling like I need to just try something new, but I think they are suggesting at least to consider, if you've been trying and working and developing a skill in a certain area for a long time, don't give up. Give it, set yourself, I'd say, I'm going to give this until whatever, and put a little bit more into it, whether that's in continuing to develop the skill or in developing the moving sidewalk through connections or whatever that will take you to Carnegie Hall. Yes, it's practice, 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 but it's also kind of who you know and how you can get in touch with them, and spirit can help with that too. And now I'm seeing a big gong, and it's hitting. Yeah, and maybe I'm being influenced by your mandala, but it's a big gong, and there's a big thing that you're hitting the middle of it with, and it's making this great reverberation. So I think give it enough time to just really hit your mark about this thing that you've already put a lot of time into, and before just turning away and trying other options. And I'm seeing you like standing in a place in the center, and there's all kinds of different options you have because you're an intelligent, capable person, but you've already put a lot of effort into this one thing. And so they're saying, giving it just a little bit more time or effort, and then you can step into empowerment. Believe it and see what you can do there. And you also got the white eagle, which is pretty cool. That one doesn't come up very often. The connection to divine guidance is within you. So I think that's the moving sidewalk, to work on your skill and connect with divine guidance. Wonderful.
Cool.
So what did you get, Juno?
Nice messages, Joan. For puja, I pulled from the Influence of the Angels deck, the King of Swords. So this is an interesting card, and to me, this talks about having a solid intellectual and educational foundation and being good at solving problems. So if this is something that you're really good at, this could represent you, puja, or this could be somebody that could be, again, kind of like a mentor, or somebody who you could apprentice under or learn a new skill from, or how to further the skills that you already have. And the person depicted in this card is Francis Bacon, who was a British lawyer and politician. And he championed inductive reasoning, where the conclusion is based on scientific observation. So he's a big deal. I mean, he changed a lot of the ways of thinking going forward. And it says, keep your mind and eyes open. It may lead you down the path to wisdom. So like Joan said, tune into your divine guidance and your higher self. And the angel with the sword at the top is talking about the moral and ethical way of approaching things in truth and justice. So this would also tell me to be sure that whoever you may be working with and who's guiding you, make sure that you only seek out people who are of the highest quality, highest integrity, honesty, and all that. So, and also he's sitting there with the book, possibly writing or even journaling is going to help you to kind of hone in on what is it that you really are interested in doing. And maybe it's involved, maybe writing is part of it. So I wish you luck with your new endeavors looking towards a new career. But I feel this is a very positive card that you will find a new career, and it's going to be a step up for you and something that will challenge you, and it will improve your abilities in life, about doing things in the highest essence that they should be done. And you know what I'm trying to say? I'm struggling with my words here, but always be in integrity, be honest, and bring spirit in, and you can't go wrong.
I've got to throw in on this one, and just in little synchronicity. I was at my sister-in-law's yesterday, and she was going through, she reads just voraciously, and it's hard to keep her in books. She reads so much. So she was going through all these books she's already read, and saying, and here's this one. She was saying it's Sir Francis, and I said, Drake? And she said, no, it's bacon.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
yeah. And, I haven't had either of those names come up. It's not just something that comes up in conversation. So I think that might be a little punctuation point
Oh, I love it.
to add to your reading, that to
Yeah.
trust in that reading.
Yeah. That was great. Thanks, Joan. And good
Yeah.
luck, Pooja.
Yes, definitely. Let us know how things work out. Next is our dear Carolyn Adams. How can I best use my
Hey,
gifts?
Carolyn.
All right. I just keep getting images of changing seasons. So I guess the message is there is a season for everything, and that your gifts can be used in every season. And I'm thinking there, as a young person, middle-aged, and older person. And it's just a matter of harnessing. It's like, you've got mad skills, they're pretty much saying. And it's how much, okay, the metric is joy. It's how much do you want to put into it? And instead of like, in some phases of our lives, the metric is how much money is this going to make? How much, how close, what's the commute like? Can I afford the daycare and all these other things? But then there comes a point where the metric is how much can I help people, and how much fun am I going to have? How much am I going to get out of it? And uh, it's I'm not very skilled at Excel, but in my last job, I did have to learn how to do pivot tables. And that's the thing where you check a couple boxes in rows and columns, and all of a sudden the rows turn to columns and the columns turn to rows. And that's sort of my visual for the metrics have changed. The metrics for you now are joy. So look at it and use that analytical brain and think, okay, let's look at this differently. What's going to be, because I kind of think that sometimes we are it's either how much money can I make and how can I advance and become respected in my career or whatever, how many other people can I help, and how much you personally get out of it might be third on or lower on the list at some points. So this is a reminder just to put that at the top, of your list, and then kind of tick off all the boxes and just kind of turn things upside down and look at things that a different way. And let's see if the Archangel deck has. Yeah, the Archangel deck is saying, Archangel of Clarity, reflect, rest, and recharge. So take some time and just kind of think of it that way. I wish I had a better camera to see this, or without so much light, but she's got this amazing kind of headdress thing on that's enlightening her mind. And from the feathers, I get the wren, be bold, confident, use all of your resources to create your dreams. And those should be dreams of all the values that you hold and want, whether it's, the joy and the happiness and the feeling useful and the making use of your skills and all of that. I hope that was of some help, Carolyn. What do your spirits say?
Very
Juno?
nice. Hey, Carolyn. For you, I pulled from the Influence of the Angels deck the Queen of Wands card. So she's there. She's got a big sunflower in her hand, and that's a powerful symbol. And there's also, oops, sorry. You can see there's a little cat at her feet there. And the first thing I thought of when I saw that cat was maybe you're someone who would work with animals, maybe as an animal communicator. There's a lot of ways to work with animals. And even if it means drawing them, depicting them in an artwork or something. And the person depicted in this card is Marguerite de Navarre, and she lived in the 1500s, and she was a French noblewoman. She was dubbed the mother of the French Renaissance. So think about how big of a title that is for somebody. She was a big supporter of the arts, but because of the things she did, like I think a lot of us in our community can relate to her. It says she would have been burned at the stake if her brother wasn't the king. So I think that she was somebody who would be very welcome and at home in our community here. I kind of feel like she's got that energy to her, and she was strong and outspoken, optimistic, extroverted, and encouraged others to be independent. So the way one of the ways you can best use your gifts is to be that beacon for others. Live bring the Renaissance in, because I think we're in a phase where we're almost, we're kind of going through a dark phase, but then that is going to be followed by a Renaissance time. So think about how you can be of service to others, how you can be supportive to others around you, and be glad that your brother's the king, I guess. So let us know how that works out, and if you have any interest in working with animals. Somehow I'm getting artwork and animals together. I don't know if that's something that you do, Carolyn, or maybe you have some artwork that you really enjoy that depicts animals. Just getting that really strong for you. And of course, middle of winter is no time to go find a sunflower, but lots of beautiful seeds in the center of that sunflower. So think about how you want to plant those seeds for the upcoming year. And that's what I have for you today, Carolyn. Thanks for your question.
Yes, thank you very much. And Carolyn said, I totally understand. Thank you. Reflect, rest, and recharge. Bernie Girl said thank you, and starting to see this as Monday.
Good.
And Jenny threw in that Sir Francis Bacon was rumored to have written many of Shakespeare's plays. Mm-hmm. And Carolyn said, Juno, I'm learning tarot and will study the Queen of Wands. Looking forward to a Renaissance. No pets, but I'm getting a new appreciation of animals.
There it is. Yeah, I love that. Thank you for that feedback, Carolyn. That's awesome.
If anybody wants to read a good kind of biography, there's the woman who is, ended up kind of founding what's now the National Security Agency, the NSA. A cryptologist named Elizabeth Friedman. And she started learning cryptology because she was hired by someone to try to use cryptology, kind of codes, to analyze the Bacon plays to see if they, or the Shakespeare's plays, just as opposed to Bacon's writing. And anyhow, it's a wonderful, wonderful story of what she did. She saved America, I don't know how many times, but.
And according to my genealogy, I'm descended from Shakespeare's uncle. I have a great
really?
Who was a Shakespeare who came to America.
Oh my word. That's wonderful. Melinda Crocker, could I get a general read? All right. Melinda. And you're very welcome, Carolyn. Well, I don't know if it was because we were talking about Shakespeare and Old English times, but I'm seeing a short man in kind of a, I guess they call it a morning coat. Instead of a tuxedo, it's a man's coat with the long tails and sort of the gray and black striped pants. And he kind of looks like a Dickens character. He's really short and he's got a silk top hat on, and he's got a bouquet of white flowers he's handing me. So who is this man, and what's this about for Melinda Crocker? This is the energy of someone or something that's trying to get your attention, but it's almost like a suitor, and it's like, no, an unwelcome suitor or an unwelcome guest. And that it doesn't have to be a person. It might be just this energy that's coming in that, on the surface it looks fine, but you're just not my type. You're just this is a little short man in a morning coat.
Oh, it's me.
and a top hat is just not the kind of guy I was looking for. But or opportunity or whatever it is. There's nothing wrong with him other than, well, he's just not suited. He's not well suited to where you are right now. Okay, so Spirit, what does Melinda do about this? It's about choice. It's about going inside and deciding what you really want. Now I'm at the seashore, and they're saying you don't have to take whatever whatever old ropes or stuff that lands on the sea. There's old tires and all this stuff that the tide washes in, and you don't have to take whatever the tide washes in. You need to walk that beach and find the most beautiful shell, or find the oyster with the pearl in it, and the gleaming little well-polished rocks, and all these little treasures that when you go walking on the seashore and looking down, you just, all these wonderful little beautiful nuggets that you can see. So I think selection, choice, I'm losing the word for what that means, but it's just the gist of it is, just because it appears at your doorstep doesn't mean you have to let it in. And we wish that little man in his morning coat well. And you've got the Archangel Uriel, who again doesn't appear in my readings very often, who's saying success through action. And I think the action is choices, knowing what you do want and what you don't want. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And let's see what else we have. We also got the Crow, who says universal laws and truths are now being revealed. Use this energy to create your reality. So just even keeping this in mind and realizing that you're kind of in charge with, in some ways, at least on a vibrational level, of what comes into your house, into your spiritual energy. And you can use those laws to bring in what you want. And God bless that little man and send him on his way if that's someone you choose. How about you?
Sorry, Joan, I just love the way you described that little man. That was really good.
I think he looked like the illustrations they have for some Dickens.
Yeah,
Yeah, he looked like that.
That's funny. So for Melinda, from the influence of the angels, I pulled the Chariot, and that goes along a lot with what Joan was saying about take action and moving forward. And in this card, this angel is called Jehudiel, Jehudial, or maybe it would be Yehudiel, depending on how you pronounce a J. And this is the angel of direction and endeavor, who provides motivation and confidence to people who seek his guidance to accomplish things. So if you've got something in mind that you want to do, this is the time now. The Chariot is moving forward, and but you can see in this card, the angel is pointed one way and the horses are facing in different ways. So maybe this might take a little extra focus for you to make sure that you're on the right path that's going to serve your best and highest good. And it says to take care when pushing towards a goal. If you put too much pressure on yourself, you can lead to burnout, and that won't, that's not the result that you want. So I would take into account what Joan said and really listen to your heart is what I'm hearing, and to make a list of these things that I think you have a lot of different things you could choose from, and pick one or two that you can really focus your energy on, but pace yourself as you work out how many things you want to accomplish in this time frame. But don't take on everything. Don't try to do all of it, because you won't do any of those things well if you take on too many all at once. But things are moving in the right direction for you. So wish you a lot of luck with that, and keep us apprised of how things are going.
Yes, definitely. Lovely reading. Thank you. And here's Craig Dixon.
Hey,
I hope you
Craig.
have a safe drive home. And Joyful Journey is here. Joyful Journey, I was reading for someone last week, and in one of my long meandering stories about somebody walking around a mountaintop or whatever, and it took me forever, but in the end, the message was the joyful journey. Focus on the journey, and not, know that something good is coming up, the summit and everything. But I thought of you when I finally said it, that it was, your name is very apt. We should all focus on the joyful journey. And let's see. Here's Paula. We have Paula, and then after that, our last one will be, oh no, Paula's our last one because we already read Bernie Girl. Excuse me, I'm just being, okay, Paula. I would love to hear messages from my spiritual guides and ancestors to guide me on my path ahead. Paula's messages from guides and ancestors. All right, let's see what can come through. They're here. Okay, guides and ancestors. So what's important for Paula to know right now? Okay. When I said, "Ooh, they're here," it's because my crown chakra is just like itchy. They are right here, and are saying they're guiding your feet on your path, and then they're showing me, like in Roman times, the laurel wreath around your head, and like you've got the long red robe. I'm seeing you. Okay, so show me this again. I'm seeing a male in the toga and the long red robe and the laurel wreath around his head. He's coming home, but he's like, yeah, I'm supposed to be the big winner, but he's kind of dejected, like something didn't work out. And now I'm seeing a woman who is in a robe with a hood on it. And ooh, you take your hood down and it's this lovely long flowing hair in the wind. And even though in those times the male figure would have been, yeah, I'm the, I don't know, something, the colonel or something in the army or someone of import and had societal position. You as this woman are, you're the one who's in touch, and it doesn't matter. It's like the wind and the sun and the elements are your laurel wreath. You don't need something that somebody made out of nature. It's like you are you're this powerful. I never really have gone this way. So it seems like you're this Greek or Roman goddess who is controlling the elements. And there's these other mere mortals here who are like, yeah, I made a laurel wreath. I've got the fancy toga and the nice sandals. But it's somehow not working out for this guy. So in today's language, for your position right now, know that that spirit is helping you, and don't let appearances deceive you. Don't let the appearances of society or of others deceive you into thinking that you are not as powerful and as loved and as capable and as connected as you are. You control the most important thing. You're controlling energy. It's like I'm seeing you with lights coming out of your hands and things like that. And I'm sorry, I'm not just trying to make the last read a real kicker. And I'm getting the Archangel Chamuel, who says, be what you want to attract. And I think that is just knowing that this is what this is how your ancestors see you, and your guides, as someone who's powerful, and maybe uh, in the human form you are in right now. You might not look at yourself and say, yeah, I don't see the light coming out of my palms, or my hair being tousled in the wind. Um, but that's how they see you. They see your beauty and your love and your power, and they're going to help you put that to use. Ooh, I kind of got chills on that one.
Wow.
Yeah, so a very long way of saying, don't underestimate yourself or the help you have from the other side. How about you, Juno? What do you get for
Oh,
Paula?
wait, you see what I pulled? The star card.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
there, and look at, there's light coming down from her hands. I know it's a little different than you described, but there's still light
Hmm.
there that's coming
Yeah.
down from that light. And there's also a dolphin here. And in this card, this is Archangel Raphael, who has to do with healing. But part of the message of this card, I think we kind of all know what we associate with the star. It's the bright light and things going well. And it is all of those things. But it's also a reminder that you can't heal others until you heal yourself. So, with that healing energy, like Joan was talking about, it's good to find a self help practice first. Doesn't mean that you can't be helping others in the meantime, but if you really want to move forward and help yourself the most and be of the best and highest service to others, make sure your tank is full. Make sure that you're fully healed and rested, and you're not seeing others' projects and issues through your own filter, so that you can see them clearly. But and also know, you've got Archangel Raphael right there looking over your shoulder all the time, and lighting the way for you. So, and I don't know, maybe if you're someone who's tuned into dolphins and whales and things like that, and I think this also is related to Sirius, the constant, the star out there. Um, there might be some knowledge for you by looking into that a little bit. You might get some insights into looking into those things. And I'm listen to dolphin sounds. That this is going to also heal you and give you some guidance going forward. So, beautiful card. I love that card. Don't see that one very often in this deck.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a special one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a very, very beautiful. Thanks for the opportunity to give you those readings, Paula. That was
Mhm.
wonderful. There's Craig and Butterfly Kisses Healing. Thank you for coming. Thanks to everybody. Oh, and Carolyn Adams is a Elizabeth Friedman fan too. I just can't recommend her biography enough. And I think there's a PBS special on her. It's just so okay.
That's
That's
the one
enough of
about
the ads.
Shakespeare.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a fascinating. It sounds boring, but it's a really fascinating story of her life. Anyhow, thank you everybody for coming. I just really appreciate this. And Juno, tell us what you're going to be up to.
On Sunday, I'm on again with Cher. We already have that set up. We do every other. Well, we're going to start doing the first and third Sundays of every month will be our regular schedule. So we're following up with that. And I've received the Akashic Records reading attunement, and things have really shifted in me in a big way since I've done that. I've done a few live shows with Val Dragonfly Crystals. So if anyone is interested in having an Akashic reading, I think Joan's got my information, but you can just email me at JunoSees, SEES at gmail.com, and we can make arrangements to do a reading. And I do a lot of other types of readings too. It doesn't just have to be Akashic reading. And, you know, I also have some cool little items for sale. So if people are looking for some gift giving things, I have small mandalas and some jewelry and crystals. So if you email me, we can see if we can figure out some things. And other than that, I'm going to be tomorrow. I enter heavy baking mode for Christmas because I bake for all the friends and the postal workers and the garbage men and all that around me. So I'm going to start kicking that into gear tomorrow, and always makes the house smell good and warms it up in the morning. So that's what I'm up to right now. But thanks for
Perfect.
asking.
And Jenny reminds us that you and she are on Sunday with Allie, which is always a fun show.
I
Do
think
you
it's on the
remember?
19th, but maybe we're
Oh, on an upcoming Sunday.
I'm an upcoming. Yeah, sorry guys.
That's okay. And Starfish Jenny and I will be on Friday at 2 p.m. Central. And then, and if you're in Minneapolis or St. Paul or the Twin Cities area, I'm going to be at Carol Lowell's Expo on this coming Saturday, which should be kind of fun. And for the first time, I'm going to do sort of like a gallery thing, which I've never done before, and I'm scared, but I'm going to do it anyhow, where I'll stand up and kind of introduce myself and then just take, here it's okay. I'm used to doing it this way, but to have a room full of people to read for them, that I need to take my own medicine and my own guidance and say, if you can do it here, you can do it in person too. So that'll be my challenge. I'll report back next time we
Your
get
knees
together.
will only knock for the first couple minutes and then it'll get easy. It's just that initial, but you'll do great, Joan. You're such a wonderful person, and your energy will permeate the room, and I think you're going to do just fine. All your angels and guides will be there with you.
And maybe that little guy from the Dickens, with
right.
the little cat, maybe he'll come along too. It'll at least be entertaining.
Somebody Shakespeare, right? Then you'll really know who he is.
Sir Francis Bacon will be there.
Yeah, right.
Oh, wonderful. Thanks so much, everyone. I just enjoy our time together so much, and I hope that you get something out of it. And we will see you again soon. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and all the best. Bye now.
Bye, guys. Thanks for being here.